A lot of women complain today that there's not a lot of good men out there. There's not a lot of strong, virtuous, marriageable type of men that they find themselves attracted to. Well, by the same token, a large chunk of households today are single-parent households, single-mother households, and they're raising these weak, soft, plugged-in beta males. So it's women that are raising the next generation of soft, plugged-in beta males that are incompetent, that haven't been shamed or maybe bullied a little bit and said, you know what, you're getting kind of fat. You know, you might want to go to the gym and lose some of that weight and put on a little bit of muscle and look like somebody or something. But we don't do that anymore. It's not allowed. It's prohibited. It's banned. It's looked down upon. You get deplatformed. I mean, I don't even know what's going to happen to this video when I publish it. Who knows? But it seems like even having a conversation about this tends to upset people, which is just so bizarre to me.
It's funny because none of these hoes is out here teaching their sons to be out here tricking on little girls and spending money on them and doing shit without. But that's exactly what you're doing though.
Wait a minute.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
That nigga got a point.
I was just in here thinking, like, you wanna know what's really funny? Women get up on these apps and they complain about these men, this man, that man, the who man, right? About what he ain't do, about whatever, whop the band. He ain't man enough, whop the band. And I'm just thinking, like, majority of you women have sons. And y'all, as mothers, is doing the same thing that they mamas did to them. And y'all don't see a problem with it. Like, y'all don't see that.
What's going on YouTube? It is your boy Rome back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. So today's video are single mothers, the real ops. Yeah. This is something that has been covered, but I would say more sparingly than frequently. But I think this does, in my opinion, I really think this might be the root of the problem as far as why both men and women are starting to notice that there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of so-called masculine men, so to speak. But we know single motherhood isn't the only reason why, but I definitely think that's where you can start at for sure. But anyway, I got a couple videos that I want to share with you guys of a man and a woman who seem to have come to this conclusion. Check these out.
It's funny because none of these hoes is out here teaching their sons to be out here tricking on little girls and spending money on them and doing shit without. But that's exactly what you're doing though. You are literally the woman that you teach your sons to avoid when they grow up. What the fuck type of hypocrite are you? If your son knew how the fuck you act with niggas out here, Miss Single Mama, Miss Outside Popping It, Miss Leave the Babies at Home on the weekend, like, let's check them messages and see what the fuck type of cup you shaking in niggas' messages. Probably asking for get your rent paid, hair and nails done, but you teaching your fucking sons to not let bitches walk over them, but you trying to walk over niggas. So how can you? Alright.
Now, I found that video very interesting because I remember doing a video a while back of a mother who was basically teaching her son to essentially simp out for women. And from what I can tell, not expect much, if not anything in return. And I'm thinking to myself, you are setting your son up for failure. So here's what I've noticed when it comes to single moms. They either teaching their sons to simp out and eventually set them up to potentially get used by the wrong women, and they're not teaching those men the red flags to look out for, so that way, even if they are teaching them to be going above and beyond for women, at least recognize the red flags so that way they're not getting used. They're not doing that for the ones that they are teaching this shit to. But then on the flip side, you got single mothers that want to be taken care and provided for and are trying to be hypergamous, while at the same time teaching their sons not to deal with those same type of women. So it's almost like a catch-22 where the problem that I'm seeing with single mothers when it comes to raising sons they're either raising them up to not deal with the type of women that they are, or they're teaching their sons to pretty much be a walking lick. And this is one of the reasons why having a man in the household is so important, or at least having that man be a part of that child's life, little boys specifically.
I was just in here thinking, like, you wanna know what's really funny? Women get up on these apps and they complain about these men, this man, that man, the who man, right? About what he ain't do, about whatever, whop the band. He ain't man enough, whop the band. And I'm just thinking, like, majority of you women have sons. And y'all, as mothers, is doing the same thing that they mamas did to them. And y'all don't see a problem with it. Like, y'all don't see that. Like, y'all be like, he don't take accountability, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, y'all don't teach y'all sons to take accountability now. Y'all not teaching y'all sons to be men now. Y'all think y'all is because you tell them to bring in the groceries. No. Y'all not really teaching them the principles or have any morals for women. Y'all are not. Y'all teaching y'all sons to go get fan shit. And I'm just like, well, I found it funny. Y'all complain about the men that's out here today, but y'all are doing nothing but recreating them right now. So it's going to be another female in the future that's going to be complaining about y'all sons not being man enough, can't take responsibility, ain't got no job, ain't doing nothing with their life, and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, that's going to be a lot of y'all sons. The same woman that's on here talking, that's going to be your son. A lot of y'all is going to be like that. That's why I found it so funny.
And this is going to sound really harsh. And dude, I don't even want to be the one to say this, and I don't like saying this. But in my opinion, I think it stems from the parent. It starts with the parent first. Got to think about it, guys. If women in general tend to struggle with accountability, what do you think the likelihood is for her to have a son and teach him how to be accountable for his actions? Women don't even like holding themselves accountable for their actions. It's one of the reasons why men and fathers have always been seen as the disciplinarians, not the mothers. There's a reason for that. Look, I'm just putting two and two together, but if you disagree with me, hey, feel free to argue with yourself in the comments. Or maybe you won't even waste your time arguing with yourself in the comments after you see this next video.
So what you gonna do if your partner say, damn, your mama fine? Okay. That's what you gonna do?
It's so funny and cute, right? While he a little boy until he grew up to be a grown man who exhibits those same poor behaviors. And due to your lack of parenting, you set him out into the world where he's a menace to society and everybody else have to deal with your problems. These little YNs in training that y'all are setting out into the world for other people to have to deal with. And due to your lack of parenting, they out here terrorizing everybody to the point they having to send National Guards into different states to try to clean it up so people can feel halfway safe in their own neighborhoods.
I've been in my home for 5 years. And for the first time, my kids have been able to play in the backyard and be able to do it comfortably. I haven't heard a gunshot in 2 weeks.
Nobody should have to feel like they're a prisoner in their own home. Nobody should have it where they scared to go sit outside or their kids to be able to go out and play because your menace to society, sons, brothers, uncles, cousins are out there terrorizing the neighborhoods. And if anybody points out this obvious flaw, then they're anti-black. Like I said before, this got to be the most backwards community. Remember, this is the community that has bigger celebrations for somebody getting out of prison and jail than they do for graduating college. This is a group of people who treat baby showers like weddings. The same people who sit up and tell you that they unable to do different things and they unable to achieve certain goals, even though there's people who grew up in the same neighborhoods, live next door to them, who drawing circles around them in life. People who took the same situation that they grew up in and made something out of themselves. Meanwhile, they set up complaining and making excuses on why they couldn't. Y'all sit up and y'all help to create these minister societies who end up damaging our community, and then you sit up and try to act like you don't know how we got here. Most of these neighborhoods that we refer to as the hood was just regular neighborhoods. They were just regular neighborhood houses, apartments that people lived in, and then your minister society sons came in and ruined it. They came in selling drugs. They came in unaliving people. They came in terrorizing everybody to the point nobody wanted to live there, and it was traumatic to even have to be there. Because they don't value nothing, they ran it down, made it look terrible. I done seen it with my own eyes. I done seen places be renovated, apartment complexes get renovated, came in and had the place looking beautiful. Looked like more expensive apartments. And guess what? They came in and just ruined them again. Just ruined them again. Because it ain't about the location. It ain't about the placement of where it actually is. It's the mentality of those people that's living there who doing the destruction. But y'all will watch a video like that first clip, and y'all are ha ha kiki. It's so funny. Look at little man. Look at little man. Until little man become a grown man, and now he out here terrorizing everybody. He out here unaliving people to look just like him. He out here got it to the point where people scared to go outside. They scared to let their children play because they don't know what man and his boys got going on and what they gonna cause to end up happening in the neighborhood. But right, it was so funny though when he was acting like he was gonna shoot. So like that's funny. That's funny. That's funny to y'all. And that's why we ain't gonna never get nowhere.
Now, there is one very small part of that whole video that stood out to me, and it's something that I kind of been covering a little bit lately. And I say this all the time when it comes to the black community. This is what's always going to hold us back from progressing. Notice when Dana Dane said, whenever somebody tries to correct someone, all of a sudden you're anti-black. This is how backwards the black community is. And I say this strongly because I know there are other races that are watching my channel. And I know this because I've met them in real life all over the world. And it's so bothersome because you would think that, like, damn, if you can get out of your own echo chamber and just look at other races in the world around you and see how they operate, and you will understand why this is so ass backwards for some black people that are actually trying to progress and get out of this, how can I put it, stereotypical view of black people. It's dumb. You're anti-black because you want to see your people do better. This is how ass backwards. You are seen as a black person. You are seen as anti-black if you correct another black person and want to see them do better. That in itself is what's going to hold the black community back. And that problem gets magnified when you're a single mother as well, especially a single mother with a son.
Hey, I never heard it from this perspective before, but she's not lying. Y'all listen up.
These kids think they got ops, but the real op is their mother. She is the one that allowed dysfunction to run wild within the community and do nothing about it. Not only does she do nothing about it, but she encourages it. She's the one that keeps your father out of your household, and not to mention turn you against your father and work with the government so that he stays away. She's the one that supports all the toxic policies that is not advantageous to your future or to the black community. And not to mention, she is the one that allow you guys to keep being buried. And it's to the point where I'm thinking you guys must want to keep burying your children, because at the rate that we're going, that's what's going to keep happening. It's to the point that you're starting to have to bury your daughters too. And if you don't have to bury your daughters are just going to raise more dysfunctional boys and girls that would get buried as well. It is dysfunctional. And y'all want to act like this is normal. It is not. It is barbaric. It's animalistic. It is disgusting.
Let me say something that's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable. And by a lot of people, I mean women. So a lot of us men, if not all of us here in the West, were raised by women. But we were raised by women who didn't actually like men. And now I don't mean just your mom, right? I mean the entire ecosystem. Moms, teachers, counselors, therapists, daycare workers, church staff, you name it, we were told by those same women to grow up and be a gentleman, to be kind and respectful and protective and safe. We heard that a lot, but there's a caveat with that. You were never to be too assertive, right? Never too confident or too masculine. In other words, be the thing they hated, just behave better. Let me repeat that. Be the thing they hated, just behave better. I mean, of course, the first woman who ever loved you, it wasn't your girlfriend or a crush. It was your mom. Or maybe she didn't love you. I don't know. So, I mean, because those exist. So, especially the ones that really hate dudes. But yeah, I mean, let's say, your dad was either gone, he was weak, he was abusive, or, disrespected in the home. I mean, that love came with strings. So, and those strings are that men are dangerous, right? They're selfish. They are the problem. And you may have heard, don't be like your father. You didn't just learn that love had conditions. No, you learned that you, as a boy, were guilty until proven safe. This wasn't love, not at all. It was early stage programming. That's what you experienced, and it taught you to be ashamed of your masculinity and to be ashamed of it before you even understood what it was. We were told to control our emotions. You were told, hey, control your emotions, control them. But you weren't taught how. You were taught to simply suppress them, especially anger. Never let that cat out of the bag. You were told to respect women, but not to respect yourself when a woman disrespected you. You were told to be kind and be gentle, but you weren't taught how to say no without fear of rejection or punishment. Plain and simple, you were not raised to be a man. We were not raised to be men in this country, in this culture. We were raised to be safe for women, And if you stepped outside those lines, you got hit with the ultimate insult, possibly. You're acting just like your father, right? You heard that one before? You're acting just like your father. But let's talk about numbers here. Let's talk about, school for a second. Over 76% of K through 12 teachers in the US are women. In early education, it's over 90%. From the moment you step into a classroom, you are placed in a behavioral system designed by women, for girls. Boys they're just outnumbered, they're outcultured. You're expected to, sit still for hours, use your inside voice, never interrupt, never talk back, never challenge authority, always be obedient. But what's actually happening is that normal male behavior is being pathologized. Yeah, if you're, I've heard this one when I was 9. If you're too energetic, you have ADHD. My 9th grade teacher, Mrs. Tinsley, thought I had ADHD because in the middle of social studies, I learned how to do this and was super excited about it and kept doing it. So, and I didn't have ADHD. I was just, the doctor said, no, he's just a 9-year-old. So hats off to that doctor. But yeah, I mean, you're assertive. That means you're aggressive. If you disagree, that means you're oppositional. And if you're fidgety, then you're disruptive, right? And what happens to boys in this system? They adapt by shrinking. I've talked about this. They rebel and get punished for it. Either way, the message is clear. Boys, your nature is a problem. By the time you hit adolescence, your default mode is appeasement. Say sorry when she's upset. Do whatever makes her comfortable. Never raise your voice. Never assert your needs. Never take up too much space. Don't be manspreading now. You're not operating from strength. You're performing for approval. because deep down the programming says if you're good enough, she won't leave, and if you're soft enough, you'll be safe, right? That's not love. That's fear-based compliance, just dressed up as virtue. The same women who instilled this fear told you to be a gentleman, right? Ironically enough, hold the door, pay for my meal, protect her, listen without speaking, sacrifice your needs, and then in return, disrespect when you set a boundary, accusations when you assert yourself, emotional manipulation when you withdraw, and rejection when you stop playing nice. See, it was never about mutual respect. It was about behavioral compliance, okay? You don't get applauded for being a good man. You get used. You get used and abused until you stop performing.
And you want to know why? Because those same women are teaching girls how to take advantage of men like that instead of actually respecting and treating those men well. But if you think different, let me know what you think in the comments. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. That way y'all know when I'm uploading. Hit the like button because that's what the algorithm helps me reach a broader audience. Also look out for the travel vlog channel as well as the live show channel. Both links are in the description. Until the next video, y'all, deuces.